If you feel like product sourcing takes forever, it's probably because you're making this one mistake right from the start. When I fixed it with my team, the daily product finds that they were getting went from a handful to dozens, and this is without them working longer hours. You don't need new tools or fancy spreadsheets, you just need to flip one part of your approach, and it all starts with how you look at the very first product on your list. Now, a few months ago, we hired a brand new VA into my business called Mark. He was eager, motivated, and ready to find his first profitable products. He poured over the charts, analyzed the price history, studied demand trends for nearly 30 minutes, and then hit a wall. When he finally went to source the product, he discovered that no supplier would offer it at the price that worked for him. Now it's back to square one. Now, Mark's frustration came from a sequence he followed. He did all the analysis up front before even confirming if the product was actually sourceable. What was the better process? Start by finding a profitable sourcing option first, then moving on to doing the analysis. This shift alone can save you hours and keep you from chasing dead ends. Now, let me share with you a quick story I shared with Mark. There was a pottery teacher, and he once decided to split his class into two groups. One group was instructed to make a single, flawless pottery pot, and the other group had to produce as many pots as possible, no matter the quality. At the end of the course, the best pots didn't come from the perfectionists, they actually came from the ones who produced the most, because constant creation meant that they were practicing more, learning faster, and building the skills with every single piece of pottery they were making. Now, to apply this back to what you're doing, instead of slowing down to perfect every single deal analysis opportunity you're looking at, instead, focus on speeding up, increasing your throughput. Check not 1 or 2 deals per hour, but 100 or 200 deals per hour. Now, more repetition means more experience, and more experience leads to better results. So what tactics can you use to speed up your sourcing? The key here is how we approach our own analysis. We're not going to be reviewing every single product in depth. Instead, we're going to start with a few key things to think about and then work our way through the list in this order. So number one, we're going to be looking for recognizable brands. If it's a brand we've already sold before or one that we know other sellers are already selling, then it's going to be worth investigating. If it's completely unknown or even unbranded, generally we're going to skip it. This is because brands sell well, and we have a good chance of finding profitable deals with brands that we already know. Now, number two, strong buy and sell price range. If an item is going to be priced right now to sell for about $6, you just aren't going to make any profit. Instead, focus on products with a selling range at least starting at $20 to $30 and above. Now, your buy price is going to have to be at least $10 for this to work, if not 15 or 20. So anything below those prices, I would just simply skip. And this means you're going to save time missing or skipping deals that just aren't going to work for you. Now, quick glances at the keeper chart. Now, if a sales rank on the keeper chart is too slow or barely moving, I'm just going to skip it. I'm not interested in trying to figure out if I can move on, find another deal. Now, if I spot problems with the buy box, such as maybe too many sellers, increasing in that sell count, or maybe the price is rapidly dropping, I'm immediately going to skip. The goal here is to find reasons to say no and fast. If I'm looking at variation listings, I might spot check 1 or 2 to see how they're performing. And if they look interesting and worthwhile, then I might go into more. But otherwise, if the 2 best ones aren't looking good, then I'm probably going to skip it and move on. I'm not going to waste hours analyzing 10, 20 variations, hoping maybe one will work out. It all comes down to this: moving quickly, filtering ruthlessly. Volume over perfection, more pots in the fire, not fewer. Now, you might be saying, hey Tom, this all sounds great, but what does it actually mean in process? So let me jump on the computer right now and show you what I actually mean and try and help you to understand how we can speed this up. Okay, so I've just loaded up a random site, one that we all know, target.com. And quite simply, I'm going to jump into probably the area that we might all look at, deals, and we're going to go to the clearance section. Now, when I'm coming in, there's lots to look at. What's the first thing I might do? Well, I might be like, hey, toys is a category that I quite like. Maybe we're already selling it, so I'm going to jump into that first of all. Now, I could just start sourcing, but I don't like doing that way. Remember what I talked about. We're looking for not cheap products, but high value ones. The higher the value, the more likely I'm going to get profit. So I'm going to start sourcing it by high to low. I want to start with higher value items, which means more cash profits for me. Now, immediately I'm going to get some results, and I can see straight away this product right here is a tractor, and I can see a kid riding on it. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm thinking if I buy that product, ship it to my warehouse, then ship it into Amazon, and then ship it to the customer, that's a lot of shipping. And that thing's so big that a kid can sit on it. That's going to cost me a fortune to ship. So immediately it's going to be a no. So anything which is too big, I can immediately just say no to and skip. I'm not even going to bother doing the analysis. So I can probably skip these. These look pretty big. This could be okay, but I'll probably skip it. And then what else have we got down here? This thing looks pretty big. We could have a look at that. And again, what I'm going to do is really just load up a couple of these. So I'll load them up doing a new tabs. This one, possibly that looks pretty big as well. And again, if I'm getting a big item, I need a big cash value. Otherwise, the shipping cost is going to be too expensive. So you can see how big this thing is versus the kid. And then I can say, look, I'm probably not going to make any money off that, but let's have it, I'll open up just to show you. The idea is if that's selling for like $20, for example, I'd be like, I'm not going to be able to afford to ship that. It's going to cost so much. These are pretty heavy as well. And again, you want to think about this stuff. So this one will load up. And again, I can see how well they're selling, which is great. Dartboard, maybe. We'll just open up a few. I can see here like Fisher Price. I like that brand, pretty good. And again, these could be an option. So I'll load up a couple of these and then go from there. And again, we're just trying to be really fast and efficient with what we're doing. I'll come in straight away. And again, this thing looks pretty big. The one thing I'm looking for is I want to quickly find out the analysis. I'm going to remember 5119. I'm going to scroll down, and I know one thing about Target is I can literally come down to specifications, look on UPC, right mouse click, and I can load straight into Selleramp just in my browser. Really, really quick. Remember that 51, that's the price we're looking for. So Selleramp saying it doesn't exist. Now, I could go and do some more searching, but I'm just not really interested. So I'm like, nope, doesn't exist. So next one. What about this one? Again, what price are we going for? 50.99. Specification, quick drop down, UPC, quick search. Again, nothing there. Next one. This one looks a bit better. So say nearly $50, $47.99. Quick drop down. Let's do a quick search. And again, Selleramp's just going to help us find the product. So you can see here right away, it's saying $20. I'm so far away from that, it's not worth it. I could, if I want to have a really quick skim, have a look at this buy box chart. You can see it's pretty flat. It has been a bit higher, 74. But again, I'm just going to be like, no, I'm not interested. Cool. Next one, I can see all the other sellers, like there's quite a few. We've got a few at 74. You got profit here, but I might be like skip. Next one. And again, by the way, come back to this product. Look at this thing. It's like a 3.5 kilogram product. That thing's heavy. And you just got to kind of recognize this going, wow, that's going to cost me a lot in shipping. Look at the size of it. Its length is 56. How many of those could you fit in a box from the prep center? That thing's huge. So again, being able to spot these things really quick just means, nope, not going to do that. So for me, obviously, I would be skipping that pretty quickly, even if we're just looking at why, because you can just tell by the size of it. Now, coming over here, again, these are going to be really heavy. You just know this. You can look at them. You can go, you shouldn't really be looking at them, but I want to show you. So again, coming back to UPC, we're looking at it, scanning through. And again, I'm having to go -10. I haven't got a price 47, but what was it? It was about 40. So I could just put in 40 there quickly. I need to get 20. That's not going to work. Next one. I'm being really, really fast. I'm just trying to scan my way through. 64. I don't know how big this item is. It could be really big. I'm seeing £0.5. That doesn't seem too big, but let's figure it out. So it's saying $20. That's really high. And again, you can see here, just look at this chart. You can see a really quick chart. Sales rank is barely moving. I could look at that 5 per month, but I always like to look at the keeper chart. And then also look at that new offer count. That's just a big no, it's going up. Next one. And again, can you see what we're doing? We're just trying to find reasons to say no very, very quickly. Why? Because we're moving through products as fast as possible to see what we can do. This one obviously is out of stock, but if it wasn't, obviously I could have a quick look and have a go through. So again, like I'm not seeing any pricing or what's coming up. It looks, I can't see anything on Keeper. Not interested. This one, 42. Let's kind of go through. It says out of stock, find alternative. So maybe it's where my address is. But again, just kind of have a quick look through. The whole point here is like, we're trying to skim through these as quick as possible. I mean, ideally, if you could get to 2 or 3 per minute, then you're going to be in a much better place doing your analysis. Why? Find it. Here we go. Because the fundamental level is what you're going to do is just get through a lot of volume. And then once you find those good deals, you're going to be like, okay, I can see if that's going to work or not. And again, all these are like, no. And again, your whole point is being really, really fast about getting through deals and trying to analyze. So we always like Top couple of tips to you, what I always think about with my team, always start high value, work your way down. And when I get down to about $20 below that, I'm just like, not interested. Next one, move on. Because those products below $20, if you think about it, if you're going to make, say, 30% ROI, if you're saying $100 product, buying a $100 product, that's $30 straight away. If you're buying a $10 product, that's only $3. You've got to find 10 deals from those cheaper products to just meet one at a higher value. So I'd rather be doing high volume at high value items. That means I can just make more, find more valuable deals so much quicker. And then also looking for deals which are going to work for me and my business by way of brand. I know the brand, they work for me, I'll feel ungated. Number two, I can sell them. Then the next part is the fact that I just know the product. I know it sells really well. I know it sells listings generally. And then on top of that, I just know the size of the product and the way it works. The more you can find of these products that are going to work for your business, easier it becomes. The next little hack I want to share with you, which can be really useful once you start getting into this. So let's say, for example, we like this product. I know we don't, but just say, for example, we do. Obviously, when we open up into the Amazon product page, you're going to get here, which is great, the product. Now, what I'm specifically looking for is maybe you might find a seller who's selling it and you want to know what they're doing. So we've got this person here called As Found Goods. So what we can do is come down to the data tab and we can look at offers. So basically find the seller. Now you can see down here, it's going to show you the different sellers, and I'm going to be looking for that as found goods. So this guy right here. So I can load him up into Keeper. Now this is really good because if you find a seller very similar to you or on the same listings, what you want to be looking at is what brands are they selling. And this is what I love about Keeper. So you can see down here, it tells you for this seller as found goods, tells you a little bit about them, tells you other sellers who are very similar to them, which is interesting. And again, for you, look at yourself and see who's overlapping with you and what brands they're selling, because there'll probably be brands that they're selling that you're not. And then on top of that, what categories? So he's very heavy in toys and games. So we're looking after toys and games. Great. But what brands does he sell? He sells a lot of Nintendo, NECA, Hot Wheels, Fisher-Price. So I might be like, hey, when I'm sourcing, I want to be looking for those brands as well, because people like me, i.e. him, he's very similar to me, are selling other brands like this. So when I'm sourcing maybe on Target, I want to be looking at those brands as well. And it's because of that, you can just start expanding your reach by using other people's stores to make life so much easier and faster for you. Let's summarize our main learnings. Your main goal when you do this is speed. You want to get through as many products as possible to quickly identify the winners. Experienced sellers, like you showed you with the Keeper, can spot unprofitable products really quickly within seconds, while beginners are just going to waste hours doing analysis on unnecessary products. It's because of this volume approach that experienced sellers can uncover more winning products, and they simply look at more products in less time. Now, this is where efficiency comes into play. Efficiency means ruling out the losers faster, which leaves you more time to uncover the profitable ones. Now, think of it like searching for a needle in the haystack. The more hay you go through, the greater chance you've got of finding the needles is really important. Now, to put that into practice, volume first. Be quick to find any reasons to reject a product. If a listing has variations that aren't working, maybe check one or two. But if they're not working, done. If they don't work, it's unlikely the rest are going to work. So skip them all, move on. If you find a coupon code that works for one product, then maybe check a few other ones, see how that goes with maybe the same brand in the same supplier. Now, if another seller is selling on a particular product, see what other brands they're selling, just like I showed you in Keeper, then investigate those brands from the same supplier. This can be really beneficial. This is a great way of sourcing. And it's these small tactics that can dramatically increase how fast you can source, and as a result, how much profit you can generate. And remember, we're here to make more money, not less. Now, sourcing efficiency can really give you the edge in the early days, but in the long term, it's a completely different game. Now, after 5 years in the trenches myself in the USA and 8 years in the UK, I'm sharing some real lessons and the hard mistakes that I've made, and I'm surprised that no one ever talks about. So I want to share with you the full story of my journey of what happened. So check out this video around here. It's going to help out. Now, if you found this video helpful, give it a big thumbs up and don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any more future videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.